Okay, this is Real with Robo, and I'm gonna tell you right now, at the forefront, I've had it. So if anything sounds racist, if anything feels racist to you, it probably is, and I don't give a fuck. Last night, I defended a black girl, okay, that was having problems with this other guy. He was joking, of course. Anybody else could see that except for her. Then, after being told like a million times that, oh, this ain't racist, this ain't a place for racism, we don't care if you black or white or whatever, there's some tough ass white people, and blase. Not saying nothing about the person whose channel it is, Sean Blazington, because I have much love and much respect for him. So let's put that aside. We're not talking about him. Because number one, when he throw out a racial joke, he could take a racial joke. Feel me? And it ain't about black or white with him. So let's move on. Okay, this uppity bitch that I just defended wanted to bring into it a whole bunch of bullshit. Like, who the fuck is you? How do you know me? And all I said was, she's not mean, man. She's just like that to everybody, which is true. Which is a fucking fact. And by the way, lady, when I said you like that to everybody, you're a fucking uppity bitch, okay? You're worse than those fucking white ass rich motherfucking snobs that I used to go to school with and I used to beat down for kicks, okay? You're that type of bitch. A Mariah Carey diva bitch. If it ain't your way, it's no way, or you'll cry about it. Okay, so beyond that, let's get real. The reason why I say she's one of those rich bitches, those black girls that have all the everything their mommies and daddies gave to them, and they're like, oh, look at me, I'm a little Gucci, I'm a little puppy dog purse, and oh, I can't drink that. That drink didn't cost $500, so I can't drink that. I'm sorry. High maintenance, diva, trippy type of hoe. The thing that set me off about that is because she called me a snob. A snob? A white girl that lived half her life in the ghetto. I'm a snob. A white girl that was raised up being just above poverty levels. An Air Force brat. An outsider. The quiet one in school that had mental fucking problems and you didn't know it until you picked on her. You call me a snob? No, bitch. You a snob. You a snob. Anyway, so dude and I were joking back and forth and, and she's thinking that we're talking to her. It's like, bitch, we moved past you, okay? We have moved past you. We went, moved past you. And then what got me is she got so mad she blocked me. Like, for real, you a thug, supposedly, but you hitting that block button? Oh, big thug. Yeah, I'll tell you what would happen if she was really in them streets. I'll tell you what would happen to her ass if she really in her streets. She'd get raped, beat up, robbed, and thrown in the ditch. That's where her tough ass would be. Let's get real. Now, and I don't give a fuck if anybody from Blazy Gang or Sean Blazington's channels show her this. Tell her to unblock me and come at me like a proper woman. Because I was defending her ass. And you could ask my husband, I don't defend anybody I don't know. But I defended her. When really I should have said, she ain't mean, she like that to everybody. She a bitch. She a high-priced, high-maintenance fucking hoe. But I bet if you had money, I bet your motherfucking ass she'd let you talk to her any old kind of way. Bet. Let's get real. Now, this is the part that's going to seem racist, but in these days, black people don't give a fuck about how they talk about white people. So why the fuck should I give a fuck about how I talk about them? If you so mad about slavery days, why don't you have that same energy when there's slave markets going on in Saudi Arabia and other Arabian countries, when literally the refugees that are fleeing Africa, your motherland, are being put up on the slave block? Where's all the heat for that? Oh, but you can't do that because people feel sorry about it happening in America. I don't feel sorry. It happened. It's done with. Grow up. Get over it. You talking about slave days. Irish people were slaves. They happen to be white. White as fucking milk. Chinese people were slaves. Native Americans were treated like shit. Japanese people during World War II were treated like shit. You don't hear us complaining. Why? Because we're not pussies. And we don't need an excuse for our downfalls, shortcomings, and failures. And that's real. Then this lady, Gail Jones, get on there. Oh, wait, no. Then this other lady get on there and she said, Becky triggered her. And I laughed because I thought it was funny. But I still got the racial innuendo under it. But I still thought it was funny. I throw out racist jokes, I should be able to take them. And so I laughed at that. And then this lady, Gail Jones, said, well, she has mixed children, so you know how that go. And then I asked her, no, I don't. Tell me how that go. And then she stopped talking. Like she ain't seen the chat. What you all... Is this like you suddenly went blind? You can't see my chat no more? No. And I really want to know. How do that go? But what I'm assuming, which I'm probably right, is that because I've had black children, that I have a say and I've got clout in the black community. Sound about right? That's probably because I heard that shit before, right before I punched the motherfucker in their face for disrespecting my fucking honor. Here's the news flash. Black communities, your communities affect us all. You're part of America. You're not off limits. It's called freedom of speech. Look it up in the Constitution. Now, you want to talk about some shit? When I first moved to Memphis, my ex said like this, I guarantee you, after living here for a while, you gonna hate black people. I was like, okay, that ain't gonna happen because, I'm from California and I got black children, so that's really not gonna happen. And come to find out, there's like 4 black people I like. 4. 4. In this area. 4. Out of the millions I met, 4. You want to know why? Because you're loud, you're obnoxious, you're rude, you're hateful, and you expect people to lift you up when all you do is drag them down. You expect white people to respect you, and yet you turn around and disrespect them. That ain't gonna fucking happen. Not with me. You disrespect me, I'ma clap your ass. That's real. I'm sick and tired of this shit. And since we brought my kids into it, Miss Gail Jones, let me get real with you. My kids don't make slavery their excuse. They all work, they all rose above it, and they all take care of each other. Now maybe that's because they had a white mama. Maybe that they got those good things from their white heritage. Because with the way y'all act, they sure didn't get it from the black side. Let's get real. I told you this is going to be racially charged. And I told you I'm going to talk to you just like I talk in everyday life. I'm not going to hold back. I'm not going to cut the mustard. You crying about something that happened in the 1800s. It ain't your fault that you spent the night before drinking and carousing with your friends and you didn't wake up on time in the morning to go to your job interview. No, the boss didn't hire you and he hired the other guy because the other guy was white and you're black. That's white privilege, right? Wrong. It's called the boss saw that you could not be relied upon. Not even for a fucking interview. It's not because the boss was white and dude was white and you're black. It's because the boss wanted his company to go and make money. And you're not responsible enough to be hired. That's your downfall. That's your shortcoming. That's your failure. That's a you problem. You know, it's funny how I see all these white people screaming, white privilege, I'm sorry I'm white, and they're all rich and elite. Rich and elite get privilege. Oh, there's a two-tier justice system. I don't disagree with black folks on that, but I don't think it's black versus white. You know what I think it is? Rich versus poor. And we've seen that. Oh, but give me an instance, Robo, because I don't believe you. Okay, Brandy. She got behind the wheel of a car. She got drunk. She killed a person. Is she in jail? No, she got a slap on the wrist. Why? Because rich. A white man did the same thing. He's still in jail for murder, vehicular manslaughter, under the influence. Why? Because poor. All I'm saying is make your legal excuses. Bullshit. That sound somewhat convincing. BLM. They like to say that cops shoot black people more than they shoot white people. Statistics across the country say that it's more than likely that a cop of any color would shoot a white person quicker than they would shoot a black person. Why? Because we interact with them more. Unless you're talking about how you're, 13% of the population and you're responsible for 75% of the crime. Oh, but that's racist, right? Because a white person's saying it. No, that's called facts. And unfortunately for you, facts and the legal system don't give a shit about your color. Sad, but it's true. That's your downfall. That's your shortcoming. That's your failure. It's a you problem. You want to know the reason why white people don't respect black people? Why don't you look at half the black statuses about white people and then ask me again? You don't give no respect, you don't get no respect. It's human nature. Again, that's a you problem. And if you think for one instance, because I've had black children, that I think I have some say and clout in the black community, you're wrong, because I don't look at my mixed children, as you put it, as mixed children. They are my babies. I didn't give a fuck that they were black when they were born, and I don't give a fuck that they're black now. That's a you problem. It's your excuse to discredit everything I'm saying through your own racism. To me, all of my babies are my babies. They're not black. They're not white. But if we were to go by facts, yes, I have 4 mixed children as a description, and 2 white children as a description. But I don't talk about my quote unquote mixed children any less than I talk about my quote unquote white children. I'm proud of them all. Because, especially my mixed children, because they've taken all of your excuses, your typical bullshit, and they don't use it. Huh. Maybe they get that from the white side of their family. And the fact, we don't need excuses for our downfalls, shortcomings, and failures. That's a you problem, not a our problem. And it's funny how in BLM, all the heads of BLM, or should I say most of them, have been arrested on multiple charges. Huh. Do you think the reason why they hate cops so much is because they're criminals? My, this shit's getting deep in here, isn't it? When faced with reality, you scream racism. But the fact of the matter is, the only people that are racist are people like you. I have never had a problem saying hi to a black person. I have never crossed the street to avoid black people. But yet, you hear it from you guys? And oh, it happens all the time. Maybe if you pulled up your pants and looked decent once in a while, people wouldn't be afraid to walk on the same side of the street as you. I'm not afraid of shit. And if you touch me, I'll gut you. But other people aren't vicious like I am. Now, I'm going to say this and give you a little hype to your bullshit. A lot of people lately, I've heard, call other black people Uncle Toms. Clearly, you barely know your own history, other than whatever is accessible for an excuse for your downfalls, shortcomings, and failures. The fact of the matter is, Uncle Tom was made in the 1950s or 60s, somewhere around in there, where in Hollywood, it was cool to degrade black people. And so they made a movie, and it said based on the book, which none of it is factual except for maybe the names. Uncle Tom is a true story, but not Hollywood's version of Uncle Tom. So when you call another black person an Uncle Tom, you're the one that looks stupid, especially if you're trying to insinuate that they're a traitor. Uncle Tom was beaten to death because he would not say where the two slave women went and their path of escape. Uncle Tom was a favored slave of his white slave master. And he was approached, look, you know you're my favorite, but I'm going to have to beat you if you don't tell me the information I want. And he said, Master, you'll have to beat me to death because I'm not telling you. Uncle Tom died for those two women. His honor, his integrity, his determination were immense, were applaudable, were commendable. And you believe the Hollywood version. You're an idiot. Speaking of idiots, I have always laughed when I hear another black person or a black person call another black person the N-word, even if it's N-I-G-G-A. And they say, oh, it's meant to say my brother. That's not the meaning of the word. And it's funny because a white person knows more about the origin of the word than you do. But I always find it funny. I laugh at it. Because you know what the origin of the word is? Back in those slave days, you know, the same ones you claim to have so much historical knowledge about. What really happened was that tribes in Africa would fight other tribes in Africa. And the winning tribe took the losing tribe as their property and everything that they owned as their property. Well, they found out that they could get pork, tobacco, cotton, other goodies from America if they had something to trade. You traded your own people. And the way that the slave dealers, much like today, and yes, there's slave markets in the Arabian countries, and it's the same thing, it's black people selling their own people, which not much has changed apparently. They would ensure that those people would not be a problem by using a term derived from a black ebon wood. Google it. It's in nature. And I believe the name was negria, is what they called it. But you'll have to forgive my pronunciation of it, because as I said, I'm Spanish, so the rolling of the tongue on the R is natural for me. It may be negria. Okay? And they derived a term Nigger, because God forbid I say it, even in historical sense or educational sense, and I'll have people backlashing on flipping out like fucking fish out of water all over my fucking YouTube. But they derive that term from that to mean dumb as a stump. So, think about that. The next time one of your friends say, "Oh, what's up, my N?" They just said, "What's up? You're dumb as a stump." My. And you say white people degrade you. Anyway, many ways. I got on here to air my grievances of the stupidity going on. People that weren't even alive during slave days call it's a community tragedy. No, it isn't. Because the actual ones that were alive during those days, they don't even give a fuck. They wish you would get over it. And that's sad. When you're crying about slavery and the ones that were actual slaves think that you're stupid. Here's a little factual history about me. I am Irish, Spanish, and Aztec. That's the main components of me. I've also found out that I was Hebrew. And a little bit Arabian Night action going on there. Spanish people are known for their light skin tone. Irish people are known for their milky white appearance. It's not your fault, Irish people. It's the fact that you don't get out in the sun much, because there isn't much sun in Ireland. Also, if you stayed out of those pubs, you probably get some sunshine on you. I'm just saying, Ireland's been the only place I know that have pubs open from 2 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Other than Las Vegas.
Well, other than Las Vegas, but then again, Irish people probably run that joint. Anyway, and the funny thing about that is, if an Irish person heard that, they'd laugh and they'd poke fun back. They wouldn't get insulted. And that's the funny thing. Anyway, so being that as it may, my ancestors raped my own ancestors. The Spaniards came over and they raped the Aztecans. And through that, they had some of the migrating tribes that moved up to America and became Native Americans. Some of the harshest tribes, like the Comanche, which I'm proud to say is where my heart lies. I love Comanche. And it's probably because that's the tribe so many of my ancestors belong to. And then the Irish slaves probably mixed in with the beautiful native, and then my bloodline was set. Oh, I'm white as a lily, as the day is long. But you get me out in that sunshine, And I guarantee you, my tan doesn't look like I'm dirty, like other white people when they tan. My tan looks natural, like it's my natural skin color. Gee, I wonder how that happens. Maybe we should ask a scientist or something. The fact of the matter being is this. People call me a white bitch, a white cunt, a white this, and a white that. Black people. And then they turn around and expect me to respect them. Number one, if they were white, seen as we like to talk about white privilege here, if they were white, I'd be in their ass for disrespect. But because they're black, I'm in their ass for disrespect. As you can see, nothing changes with me because I'm not racist. I can be. I don't like to be. But the facts of the matter are this. Nothing motivates me when liking or hating a person, except for one thing, their fucking attitude and their intelligence level. And if they make me laugh. I love very few black people that I would go to war for. Because you know what? 90% of the black people I've met are so hateful, so racist, so ugly to me because of my skin color that I can't stand them. And I wonder why that is. It's more than likely because I can't stand racists. So next time you decide to call me racial slurs or make racist jokes, understand this. You leave the door open for whatever comes through it. If you're joking with me, I'll joke back. But please don't be like that bitch last night who could throw a joke but can't take one. You know, the one that is black but whiter than I am. And I applaud her for being a rich bitch. Because quite frankly, those kind of people are the dumbest people on earth. So how she breathes without instruction is completely entrancing to me. And don't be like that other person who puts my opinion of anything on my children and thinking I have privilege, because I can't stand people like that. And I'll ask them straight out, and they'll do exactly what she did, and that's shut her fucking mouth, because she had no answer for that. Everybody else was being racist, so she decided to jump in the pot with them. And when she got called out on her bullshit, she shut her mouth. And that's how usually it is for me, being quote unquote white, or what passes for white. I meet black people that say, it ain't about race, girl. It ain't about race. But let somebody be in a group that said it ain't about race, of their own color, and you say something that offends somebody else, they'll all jump on you, and it will be about race. I'm sorry, I don't like two-faced people. And that goes for all colored people. All of them. Black, white, green, orange, purple, yellow. I don't like two-faced people. I also don't like fake people that call themselves my friends. And then because, oh, we're in an argument and there's black people arguing against her. Well, I'm black. I better side with the black people. Fucking coward. That's okay though, because I could hold my own. My point of this video is this. Out of all the people I met in the world, and I've met so many, I've been across the sea, I've been all around the world, and I. And it wasn't because of my white privilege I did that either. I did that with hard work and the fact that my mom got cheap seats on an airplane because my dad was in the Air Force. But out of everybody I've met in the world, black people are the most racist, hateful, bigoted, spiteful people I've ever known. Save for a few. And that is why when a lot of black people these days say that white people really hate them because of their race, no. White people don't hate you because of your race. They hate you because of your personality. Maybe if you got one, and possibly some integrity and honor, and I don't know, be nicer, they might like you. Me personally, I hate everyone. I hate all people. I don't cut the mustard. I have no appreciation for anybody else on this earth. I won't hurt your feelings. I won't break your heart. But I'm going to be real. That's why I'm on SSI. That's my mental problem. I do not appreciate people. And the reason I do not appreciate people is because of people like the people I've met. And the black people that I talked to last night. And that doesn't include that gentleman that was just joking around, nor does it include Sean, because I consider them dark-skinned white brothers. You have light-skinned black people, I'm going to have dark-skinned white people. And that's exactly what my black friends are dark-skinned white people. Because they have class about them. They have integrity. When they fuck up, they own their fuck-ups. And maybe that's the worst thing about this race issue, is that white people are so sick and tired of hearing it that black people are actually making white people racist against them. You might want to think about that. What we put to rest many, many, many decades ago, you are bringing back up. And you cry and you moan that white people hate you. We have never hated you. White people have never hated you. But I guarantee you, if you keep your stupid up, you're going to make more white people hate you. And it'll be exactly because of what you say. you're bringing about this reality, not us. So don't blame us for your downfalls, your shortcomings, your failures. That's a you problem. And you're making a you problem worse, to where reality and society might actually start hating you because you're black. And then you'll actually have something to bitch about. And that's real with Robo.